In this video, I'm going to show you how Chime is a game changer for banking and will revolutionize the way we all bank. It's perfect for people like me and you who are always on the go with not enough time in their day to stop by a brick-and-mortar bank. I mean, who's got time for that? With Chime, you don't have to worry about forgetting your wallet when you go out because your phone can be your wallet. This is really great news for all of us, so let me tell you more about it. Grab yourself a drink or something, it's gonna take a while. The traditional banking system is a hassle. You have to go into the bank, wait in line, and pay fees for everything from using your debit card to overdrafting. Nowadays, challenger banks are popping up all over the world. These companies have a different mindset than traditional banking institutions. They're not reckless like your average bank. Their goal is to give back and enable you to keep more of your own hard-earned money. This makes them an excellent option for individuals who want flexible spending habits without having any added fee costs associated with it. Challenger banking apps are relatively new in America, as Americans have only recently begun to realize the benefits that an app-only bank account offers. This includes a super fast account opening process and zero fees, instant transaction notifications with high-end security features like fingerprint login for top-notch data protection. Chime Bank is looking to take the US banking scene by storm. The app offers both a spending and savings account with fees that are as low as free. Yeah, you heard that right, not the number 3, but actually free. With your Chime Bank account, you can pay for anything using their debit card, which comes fully fledged with no ATM withdrawal fees. Funds in an individual's Chime account are insured up to $250,000 per depositor through FDIC insurance. But who and what is Chime Bank? The company's overarching philosophy is to change the way that Americans view banking. Founded in 2013, Chime Bank provides app-only fintech features for everyday access from your mobile phone. With its similarities with a traditional financial institution, you can send and receive funds domestically as you normally would through this innovative provider of banking services. With Chime Bank, you can have your salary paid into your Chime account, and in some cases, they will credit the funds 2 days early. As an app-only bank account with no physical branches, everything is facilitated by this mobile banking service using only a smartphone. This allows them to pass on the cost savings of operating as a digital-only company, which has made it one of the most popular banks for millennials today. Why is Chime so awesome? Chime Bank is a great place to bank for people who are looking for an easy and affordable account. There are no hidden fees or minimum deposits required, and applying for an account is a free, quick, and painless process. Whether you need your debit card overseas or want access to millions of Visa accepting merchants in stores and online, Chime has got you covered with its fee-free services. No fees here, y'all! Yeehaw! Safety is important, and Chime Bank wants to make sure that when your debit card is used, it's you using it. The new Chime Bank app provides ways for users not only to track their spending, but also freeze their accounts if there ever was an emergency where they lost their phone, which contains sensitive financial information such as bank accounts and credit. Nobody wants that to happen. You'll know in real time if someone else is spending from your account and can freeze it on the spot. If you lose your card, Chime Bank will block all charges immediately until you unfreeze it with just a few taps of an app. Chime Bank offers a savings account that pays interest at 0.01% APY, which is the same rate as traditional banks like Wells Fargo and Chase. As I mentioned earlier, which is super important, your deposits are also protected by up to $250,000 in case Chime goes out of business through membership in FDIC scheme. The benefits of using Chime Bank start at the first moment. If you're based in the US, then you know firsthand just how much red tape is involved with opening a new bank account. A physical branch and an hour-long conversation, well, we ain't got time for that. With Chime's digital app, all that's needed is to open an account with your name, email address, or phone number. Chime Bank is one of the most progressive banks on earth, and its new account setup process just takes a few minutes. that's it. Thanks to cutting-edge technology that verifies identities automatically, Chime can help you open an account in record time. Their app simplifies everyday banking tasks by letting you transfer funds, set up payees, and even more. For example, if I want to give my parents some money for their anniversary, but I don't have time in the day, or I just forget about it, no problem. You're welcome, Mum and Dad. As long as they are registered with me on Chime Bank, then all I need to do is a few clicks of my finger. It's quick and easy, not like the good old days when we had to go into a branch office or call customer service lines during off hours, or even having to use an old-fashioned online banking platform. The new generation of banking has arrived. Ditch those old ways that just don't work anymore. Chime makes paying your monthly bills a breeze. You can pay any of them with only one swipe, like Tinder, and you don't even need to enter billing information each time. Chime Bank understands how frustrating it is to have to physically deposit your employer's check at your local branch. Their technology will allow you to do this virtually, or from your mobile phone. All you need to do is take a photo of the front and back of the check in order for their system to validate its authenticity before adding funds directly into your account. Super simple. This service saves time as well as gas money when making those types of deposits, because instead, people can make them on their commute or lunch break without having any added hassle that usually comes from going downtown. Like I said, it's good to save time. One of Chime's most attractive features is its real-time notifications for debit cards usage, such as instant notification on your mobile every time we use our cards from anywhere in the world or domestically. This helps us keep track of what we spend, so things don't get out of hand like they might have without this app, because all the transactions are recorded immediately no matter where we are. Chime is the only card that shows you how much your overseas transactions will cost in US dollars as it happens. You'll never be blindsided by an exchange rate again. Amazing! Chime's instant notification feature notifies you of all the incoming and outgoing transactions, whether they're at home or abroad, so charges are clearly displayed to avoid any surprises later on down the line. Also, another great feature about their bank accounts is the 24-hour customer service support, which can be accessed by calling them up at any point during the day or night. It's worth mentioning again, Chime Bank will help you get your salary 2 days early with just a click of a button. A lot has changed in recent years, but our need to be paid on time hasn't. Chime Bank offers a fantastic feature that allows you to receive your monthly salary 2 days early, which we all need. In order to qualify, all you need is for your employer to pay as usual, just via direct deposit instead of by check or cash at the end of every month. Chime will email an easy to fill out form when signing up, so simply hand this in with your physical paperwork and voila! You'll be able to have access 2 days sooner than expected. Perfect if it's due on Monday, but you really need it over the weekend because we got plans. So what does Chime cost you? You want to know how much Chime Bank really costs? Okay. Well, it won't cost a thing. There are no hidden fees whatsoever, which means that your hard-earned money stays right where it belongs, with you. Yes, you. It is important to be aware of the average cost of bank fees for a typical American household. On average, this family pays $329 each year in banking charges because they are not maintaining their balance below the minimum or making enough debit transactions on your account as stipulated by terms and conditions. Not you though. You've just found out about Chime Bank. Keep in mind that there might be some ATM fees when withdrawing money, which we'll cover now. ATM fees are one of the ways banks make a profit. They're known as an out-of-network fee. This is charged when you use your debit card at an ATM that isn't owned by the bank. For example, if you attempt to use Wells Fargo's debit card and you go into another bank's ATM, they charge $4.72 per transaction on average for out-of-network ATMs, which is not their own. Chime Bank has partnered with MoneyPass to offer you a convenient way of getting cash from any ATM in the US. The network consists of over 32,000 ATMs, and as such your withdrawal will be free of charge, so long as it's at a MoneyPass machine. You hear that? It's got to be MoneyPass machine. What if you find yourself in an emergency situation and you need to withdraw cash from a machine that is not part of the MoneyPass network? Be ready for the long list of fees that come with this. Whew. For example, Chime Bank has no control over any charges made by ATM providers outside our network, so they do have some tips of how to avoid them. You can look up your desired location ahead so you know what type of ATMs are available nearby, or use apps like CardNow, which will tell you where is the nearest before entering it address into Maps, or Google, whichever you prefer. If you do find yourself using an out-of-network ATM, be prepared to spend just a little bit more. Chime Bank will charge you $2.50 on top of the fee from whichever bank owns that machine, and in addition to whatever it costs when using one of their ATMs. But please don't lose heart. Withdrawing cash averages are just $7.22 per transaction, so this way, and you still have a zillion other benefits. One of Chime Bank's most popular features is fee-free overdrafts, which are designed as an alternative form of overdraft protection. The difference between Chime's features versus traditional protections: you'll never be charged for it, and your limit won't prevent you from making purchases or withdrawals up to $100. With the average overdraft fee in America now at $33.36, Chime is an attractive option for people who are looking to build their credit while also having greater control over spending habits and balances on accounts. To qualify for Chime Bank's fee-free overdraft, you need to deposit at least $500 into your account each month. If you're paid monthly, then just have them direct the money straight from your employer's bank account to yours. You can start out with a $20 overdraft limit and increase up to the max of $100 as needed. SpotMe is Chime's overdraft protection service. When you dip into your account, it will replace the negative balance on the next payment from a customer or employer. But before this happens to you, make sure that SpotMe has been activated by going into your account settings in your app. You're going on vacation, lucky you, Chime has got you covered. The traditional bank card overseas experience is very, very costly. There are two fronts that you will likely pay on. The first being a fixed fee every time you use it, regardless of whether or not cash is withdrawn from an ATM or if payment in person was made. Second, there's usually another hefty foreign exchange fee added onto your purchase after the transaction goes through, whichever currency conversion rate they're using at that moment. They typically add around 2 to 3%. It's likely that the specific ATM you're using charges a fixed fee. The good news is that Chime Bank does not charge any foreign transaction fees at all. Yay! As such, your only concern should be with the local ATMs, and they are out of our hands once we give them for use abroad. The Chime debit card isn't just your average card, oh no. It can work all around the world, and it lets you know if something costs more than $50, for instance, in a different currency, so that you don't end up paying way too much. It is incredibly helpful when on vacation or traveling abroad because of its instant notification system. When your bill arrives at a restaurant while overseas, hopefully a nice meal, there might be some confusion about how much you owe due to differences between currencies. This is where the push notifications come into play. The app will let you know what exactly was charged, both in local currency and US dollars, as well as any additional fees like taxes. How cool is that? One of the most common challenges for those new to challenger banks is depositing cash. Here are the ways you can deposit funds into your Chime bank account. Direct deposit. Chime will email you a form when you first register. You can hand over the direct deposit form to your employer, who then inputs all your personal information and sends it back for processing. You can easily transfer money into your Chime account by ACH. Just enter the information when making a deposit and you'll be all set to go. You can also connect an external bank account with Chime, but not all banks are supported, so you'll need to check first before starting the connection process. Transferring funds from your personal or business accounts may take up to 5 working days for it to be credited on Chime's site. However, setting this option is free. Chime Bank wants to help you get your cash into the bank. To do so, they partner with Green Dot, a payment service that has more than 60,000 retail locations in the US. You simply need to hand over your cash and account details at one of these stores for them to take care of everything else. But just be aware, Chime is limited by law on how much you can deposit per day or month. It's up to 1K a day and then up to 10K monthly. That's because their goal is always compliance and not getting caught laundering illegal funds from drug deals gone wrong.
Okay.
Just saying. I like how you can save with Chime too. The Chime Bank app is a convenient way to save and even earn interest on your money. You can round up the purchase amount for each transaction to the nearest dollar, or automatically have any extra funds transferred from checking into savings when you set it up. An even better way to save with Chime is through their Chime Rewards program, something great that we haven't found with any other bank just yet. Chime Bank will show you your progress on your saving goals. This is good for you to know how much you saved. They can also send you information about what you are spending your money on, like coffee, entertainment, etc. But you know what, we all kind of need a coffee every now and then. But the big question, is your money secure? If you're looking for a bank that takes your security seriously, Chime Bank is the place to go. They are partnered with Visa Zero Liability, which means if they are unauthorized charges on your card and they happen as a result of fraud, it won't be your responsibility. Chime Bank is protected by the FDIC. It also has a lot of other security features. Chime Bank will post all transactions to your phone in real time, so you always know when money goes in and out. If someone steals your card or it gets lost, you can freeze it from within the app. Chime Bank offers two-factor authentication for account access. In order to log in, you need a PIN number that is sent to your mobile phone and confirmed before logging on via your desktop computer. A great backup security measure. Chime also offers fingerprint ID as an additional safeguard if you're worried about someone else accessing the accounts themselves. So if Chime is free for this, free for that, well, how do they make money? Chime generates income by charging interchange fees, i.e. the small percentage of a transaction that is paid to banks whenever their debit card is used. Merchants pay Chime around 1.5% on each purchase made with Visa cards issued through them, and you know what? This all adds up. Next, they also make money on your savings. Just like any other normal bank, it uses the cash residing on user accounts to lend it out to other institutions. Chime makes money whenever a user gets cash from an ATM outside the MoneyPass and VPA networks. Like I said before, Chime charges $2.50 per withdrawal. In January 2021, Axios reported that ATM's cash machines fees make up 21% of the revenue Chime generates. And that's Chime in a nutshell. Now I want to turn this over to you. Which of Chime's features do you like the most? The security side of things, or the fact that you can get real-time currency conversion next time you buy something overseas? If you are interested in this type of banking, then definitely check out my Novo Bank review. For example, what's the real story about Novo? I'm gonna give you a full review and breakdown of Novo Bank, including all the pros and cons. You'll get an honest look at what it is like to use this new way to bank. So click the video on the screen now and you'll get the top 3 things to consider before opening a Novo Bank account. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.